Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Bukkit coding tutorial series, and today we are going to be looking at vectors and velocities. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to launch players and mobs around and do all sorts of cool stuff. Cool stuff. So what you can do is you can get a player's so you can get the vector of a player, and the vector of a player is basically their direction. So if you do, if you have a player object and you say p.getLocation.getDirection, that would be a vector, and then you're able to go and modify the data values there, and then you can say player.setVelocity, and then that vector you have, and then you will be able to make them launch around and do all sorts of cool stuff. So I wanted to start this off by making our first event here. And this is going to be on fall entity. It's going to be an entity damage event. Let's go ahead and import that. And now we want to say if the entity, so if e.getEntity instance of player, so if they are a player, then we want to say, okay, yep, okay, so we know they're a player. Let's go ahead and cast that there. So now we want to say if e.getCause dot equals entity damage event. If you're using Eclipse, you shouldn't have to do this. But yeah, there we go. Boom. You can actually, I just realized that I have unnecessary code there. There we go. Okay. So if the type of damage is falling, then we're just going to set it to cancel true. And they have to be a player. So if, say, a zombie falls off a cliff, it is going to take damage. So now we can do some of our other events here. So let's go ahead and say something like on move or something like this. So it's going to be a player move event e, and then player p equals e.get player. There you go. Now you want to say vector or v, whatever you want to name it, equals p.getLocation, getLocation.getDirection. There we go. So that returns a vector. Let me see, vector. Where I imported? Okay, so don't import from Java. You have to import from Bukkit, and that should cause that to work. So now we can say vector dot. Let's just do something basic. So set y. Set this to 2, and that'll make them launch straight in the air. But before we do this, we want to make a quick check here. If p.getLocation, and let's actually, instead of having to do all these getLocation calls, let's go ahead and say location lock equals p.getLocation, and import that there. So now if lc subtract 0, 1, 0, so that gets the block directly below the player. Get block get type equals material, and then we can say anything here. So let's go ahead and say material beacon. You could do like fire or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. So like say if they go on fire, then they'd be launched up, and I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to be doing a beacon. So what this does here is actually we need to add one more quick line of code. p.setVelocity vector. There we go. All right. So what this does is, I'm going to quickly recap this. What we're doing is, okay, so we're saying on the player move, so whenever any player moves, we're going to get the player, we're going to get their location. Now, if the block that they're standing on is a beacon, then we're going to do all this, and we're gonna basically set their velocity to be this new velocity here, and basically it'll make them launch straight up in the air. And now I wanted to try something, and I haven't experimented with this yet, so this probably will take a little bit of tweaking, as most tutorial videos do have a lot of tweaking in them if you've seen them from me in the past. We're going to do some stuff with blocks, so we're going to say on explode. So explode. Let's see. Entity or block explode. So I want to say entity explode event. And then E dot, what do we have here? We have block list. Okay, that's what I want. So now what we're going to do is we are going to say, okay, so no matter if any entity explodes, then we're going to say vector v equals new vector. There we go. So now we can do all sorts of stuff. We can set the y. So I'm going to set this to 2. And then the rest of the values I'm going to leave blank. Now we can do is for block b colon e dot block list. So for every single block that explodes, we are going to say b dot set. Let's see. B dot get state. I think we have to do get state dot set. Let's see here. Well, actually, I think we may have to spawn a falling block and then launch it. So for every block, we're going to say b dot. So we're going to say block state saved equals b dot get state. Go ahead and import that. We're going to say b dot set type material dot air. And after that, what we want to do is, let's see here, what can we do? So we have their state. Let's say falling block. You're right. Falling block equals new falling block. No, we can't do that. Oh, we have to spawn it. That's right. Okay, so falling block. We're gonna cast, and we're gonna say save dot get location dot get world dot spawn entity at saved dot get location entity type dot falling block. Now we can say falling block dot set velocity. There we go. Okay. Now set velocity v. So what this should do in theory is it'll get, so for every single block here, we're going to save the state of that block. So whatever it is, so if it's even air, we actually want to just take a quick check here. If b dot get type dot equals material dot air, then we're just going to return. Because we can't, maybe that would cause a null pointer exception. I don't know, but it's possible. So, first what we want to do is we want to test the moving, obviously, and then we can spawn in some TNT or something to test that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and make sure our plugin.yml is set up correctly. It seems like it is, so let's go ahead and build our file. And I am going to go ahead and set up a test server for all this, so I will be right back. Alright everyone, so you can see on the side there we have our episode 17 plugin loaded, and now as we load Minecraft we'll be able to test this. And I've reviewed the code a little bit and it seems like it should work. Like, I haven't found any direct issues. And the block thing, I don't know if I can get that working off the top of my head. If it does break, it'll probably be fixed in a part 2 or some description notice or annotation. Because I don't know if I'd want to make a whole nother episode about a simple bug fix. So let's go ahead and join the server. There we go. Okay. So we have our beacon. I was testing this earlier. So we have our beacon. Let's go ahead and get that. Boom. There we go. So you can see we're getting launched in the air. I have a ton of beacons everywhere just for testing purposes. Oh, land. Okay, so you can see we can make cool stuff like by landing and placing beacons, and it allows us to make like a huge trampoline area or something like that. So let's fly a little bit over here just so we don't ruin that area there, because I don't think I have a backup or anything. Let's go ahead and get TNT and flint and steel. There we go. Oh, whoop. Give at peach. Flint and steel 1. Alright, so let's go down here. Turn. Yep, we're good. Alright, so that should work. As soon as that explodes, so that is an entity, I think. Okay. So it doesn't look like it did. It does look like it's made a bigger hole. Let's see here. There's no errors, which is good. So I will probably be able to fix it. Just because there is no errors. Okay. Let's see. Let's call falling block. I don't know. I don't think we ever set set material. So set. Let me see here.
Is Jack in here?
No. Oh my god, I'm in the middle of recording. He's not here, is he?
He's missing.
He is?
No.
Shoot. But it doesn't look like there's any set type. Which is not good. Let's see here. It doesn't look like there's any way to set the, let's see, spigot. What can we do under the spigot here? No, we can only set is invulnerable. Well, I suppose what I can do is I can go Google this really quick, just for you guys, and I'll figure out what is going on with this not spawning or not doing whatever. But I know the velocity thing is working, so that's the good part. So I will be right back. Alright everyone, so I think I found a way around it, but unfortunately the method is deprecated, but I can't find any other good way to do this. So basically what you do is you do this code here. You want to install the same falling block thing, but now you want to say bukkit.getWorld and then spawning falling block. You want to say at save.getLocation. What else do we need? Save dot. Let's see. Let me see what do we need here. Okay, so let's get that. What does it need? Well, hold on. Clicky keyboard. Dot spawn falling block. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna do that at save.getLocation with saved.getType, and just say like 1 or something. What does it need? 1B. No. Byte 1. And I think that's the ID, so let's actually set that to 0. Actually, no. You don't want to do that. You want to say saved dot get get data dot get, yeah, that should work. So get data dot get data. I know it's a little funky, but that is the way to do it. Here we go. So go ahead and copy this and drop it in the drop the new one in the folder. Let's go ahead and put a reload here. Boom. So let's fly away from failed area. Okay, so either this shouldn't work or it should work. Oh, there we go. So you can see we've done all that with velocities, and I think that's pretty cool. But if let's go ahead and modify this just a tad bit, because that is a little annoying. But what we can do is we can say at suppress warnings deprecated. There we go. So that should make it so it doesn't matter about deprecated methods, but be warned, this method may be removed in the future. There's just no other good way to do this, to my knowledge, at the moment. So that's a little unfortunate, but of course, you can always use the deprecated methods. So now what we want to do is we want to say something like set z, and what we can do is say, let's make a random really quick. So random random oh my gosh, I can't type today. Random equals new random. I think this is because I have Minecraft still open. There we go. Random. So we're gonna have a new random here. We're going to set the z to be random dot next we're gonna say next double by 0.5. Actually, wait, hold on. That's good, yeah. So we're just gonna set the z value just kind of randomly, which, you know, that may cause the server to not like us very much, but you know what? It's worth a shot. So let's go ahead. We don't need to do much else other than that. Let's go ahead and pop the reload again. All right, so, and we can actually set drops to be disabled. That's just falling block dot something or other. Okay, so you can see it's now launching that way. But if we do it again, you can see it should have a different outcome again. So you can see it launches a little bit farther that way. So we do it again, same spot, boom. And now I believe, so we'll do a few different tests in a second. Oh, there we go. So you can see it barely moves at all. So what we want to do is we also want to say, just so it's not always moving in the z direction, we want to say set x by random.next double, and that would fix that error of it being just always kind of repetitive in the same direction. It'll be a lot more random this time. And now, so basically what this is doing is it's getting every single block, every last one. And modifying the velocity, or creating a velocity for it, and modifying values so that it goes all randomly, like, you know, that. And you can see it's now moving in a different direction entirely. So if we do this again really quickly, boom. So you can see it's now going still that way, but not really all that far away. And I believe this should work for creepers. So let's go ahead and test this really quickly because it's entity explode event. And now something really cool that I don't exactly want to test right now is the Ender Dragon. So the Ender Dragon will actually trigger the entity explode event, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. So yeah, anything that the Ender Dragon breaks would explode and it would fly everywhere. So that's a nice use of it, I guess. You can see we got so many falling blocks. It's really cool. That's actually really cool. But let's go ahead and get some different, let's get some leaves here. So we're going to have the oak leaves, which have the data value of 0. We have spruce, which have 1, and then we need birch and jungle. So what we're going to do is we're going to build it 3 high, like this. So you can see here, it's all in order. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and this one, if there is no data value attached to it, everything will turn into leaves. And so let's, oh, whoops. I just tried to light it on fire. That's nice. So let's go ahead and blow this up really quick. And it may not look like it while exploding. Oh, whoop. Where'd it go? Oh, there they are. So you can see, boom. Still jungle, still spruce, and then some of them are broken off. So it keeps it for you know, it keeps the block, which is nice. So let's go ahead and just build up really quick with leaves, just for proof of concept here. And that'll blow up, and you can see it comes all the way back down as normal leaves. And if we use jungle to do that same exact test, we can see that it will. Oh wow, no. Apparently in Minecraft 1.8 it looks the same when it flies up. That's interesting. And I wonder, because it's not showing gray with grass, so I bet you that was fixed somewhere along the line. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You now have you can now have some fun with vectors and trampolines and exploding blocks, and I think that's pretty cool, especially since I made a lot of this concept here just off the top of my head. This part with spawning the falling block, I was new to that, but you know what? You learn something new every day, so that's pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Bukkit coding, and just remember you can randomize the value here, the Y value, if you ever wanted to, and all the other ones too. It was just, I just set it to 2 for testing purposes. But you can go all out, use randoms everywhere, and just make it all funky. So yeah, that was it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a comment down below, drop a like, And refer your friends over here if they ever want to know how to do all sorts of cool stuff with Bukkit. Make sure to check out the Spigot forum page for any downloads or help. If you ever need help and I'm not around, or you just don't want to ask me for whatever reason, you can always go in the Spigot, spigotmc.org website and go to their development section for Spigot, and they usually have great help there. I've used it countless times, and it saves me a lot of work with finding bugs and all sorts of other cool stuff. So go ahead and check that out. I will put a link in the description. 2 more things I wanted to also mention on video. I have a new watermark that you probably noticed in the bottom right hand corner. That was made by someone on Twitter. I forgot their @ right now, but I will have them linked in the description with something like watermark or whatever. And then yeah, my new intro was made by my boy Jake's Realm. And you will find his Twitter and his YouTube for intros, and yeah, you'll find that in the description as well. And he was dueling with someone from the Renaissance team, which is pretty cool. So yeah, go ahead and check out Renaissance as well. I don't know if they have their link off the top of my head, but if you go to his channel and check out my intro on his channel, you can see Renaissance's link, and that's a group of 3 people who make intros, and they're pretty cool. So yeah, that's all my new stuff I've got for you guys today, so go ahead and check them out. Thank both of them on Twitter and everywhere for doing that for me. I really appreciate it, and yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bukkit Coding, and I'll see you guys all again next time.